Yo, what's up, Private? In today's video we're gonna talk about M1 helmets, World War II productions, post-war productions, swivel bill, fixed bill, and a lot more. Stay tuned in the video. The American M1 helmet, an iconic helmet used during World War II and many decades after. In today's video I'm going to explain the differences between the types of M1 helmets and the difference between an European clone and an American made helmet. First, some history about the helmet. The US government started producing these helmets in April 1941 to replace the model 1917 which looked like the British Brodie helmet. Over 22 million have been produced during World War II and was still in use by the US Army till 1985. Many countries have adopted and manufactured the M1 helmet, and hopefully after this video you know how to spot the differences between them, which saves you a lot of money and mistakes. Every M1 helmet has two helmets. We have a liner and we have a steel helmet. The liner goes inside the helmet, like so, and the liner can be worn in non-combat moments. It is the same story with World War II production. It consists of a liner, which is made of a kind of like bakelite, and we have the steel helmet. So how do I spot the difference between World War II productions and a post-war example? The post-war productions have most of the times, not always, but most of the times, a green colored canvas as the liner. And with the World War II versions, you see most of the times they have a khaki color. Yet again, this is not always the case. I have seen green colored World War II liners. So if you want to be sure, in my opinion, pick a khaki colored liner. All American manufactured liners should have a heat stamp in the dome of the liner. This indicates where the helmet is made. I will edit a photo with all the manufacturers. Some factories only made liners during wartime, and others also made it post-war. The European clone productions don't have it stamped in the helmet. They have an ink stamp. Many countries use those ink stamps. For example, the Netherlands, Belgium, France, and many more countries. So if you see like an ink stamp or like no stamp at all, I wouldn't take the risk and I would just leave it. And that's how you can see if the liner is from World War II or a European clone. So now you might be wondering what the difference is between the steel helmet of the post-war version and the steel helmet of the American version. Let's skip forward to the part where I've removed all the liners of the helmets. A US made steel helmet, either post-war or World War II, can be recognized by the stamp that is stamped in the front of the steel helmet, right over here. This stamp is called a badge number. With the badge number you can find out when the helmet is made and by who the helmet is made. I will edit a picture with the different kind of badge numbers to indicate where and when they were made. As you can see, all my American M1 helmets have this stamp in the front of the helmet. Not every stamp is as good as visible as the other. That's because of the paint that's still over it. Some stamps are scratched out and others aren't. Try to keep the front of the helmet in different lighting. Maybe then you will spot the number if you didn't see it in the first place. You can look those numbers up on the internet and you will see when your helmet is made. During World War II, there were two types of M1s made by the US government. The first one is a fixed bill, where the hook of the buckle is welded onto the helmet. This one was produced from 1941 until 1942. After 1942, they started to produce these kind of loops. They are called swivel bills. It means that the bill can move. Keep in mind that the fixed bill is more rare because it's only produced for a year, compared to the swivel bill. This also means when you find the helmet on a flea market, in a barn, in a thrift store during a pick, the fixed bill is more worth than the swivel bill. And as you can see on the post-war version, there's a swivel bill as well. Why did they change the bills? Fixed bill would constantly break off. Also, what's very recognizable of the helmet is the stainless steel rim that's around the helmet. European helmets as well as the American helmets both have those rims. Now let's fast forward to the part where the helmet's together again. The M1 helmet itself also has a special type, the M1C, and the standard M1 helmet. The M1C is designed for the US Airborne, and on the shell, the only difference from the normal helmet is this little strap which has a button on the end, compared to the normal US helmet which doesn't have the strap and the button on the end. For the liner of the M1C, it has an extra piece of canvas. These are called A-yokes, and there should be a little knob over here as well as on the other side, but mine is sadly missing. The knob is placed there so you can place the button and the end of the strap inside the helmet liner, so when the paratrooper jumps down of the airplane, the liner won't come loose from the steel helmet as easy as it does on the standard M1 helmet, like you can see here. So again, the difference between the helmets is the standard M1 doesn't have the knob over here, it only has for like the chin strap, as you can see, but not the other. Now talking about the painting and the camouflage. The fixed bill version has a different kind of painting underneath. That's because the helmet is made earlier in the war and they used a different kind of painting. Later in the war they started using olive drab, as you can see on this one, and as well on this one. This one is painted post-war sadly, and this one is just post-war. You can see the difference between them. Now talking about the camouflage, you have different kinds of helmet netting. You have small holes and big holes. You have a helmet cover as well, but these were used on the Pacific theater, and these you will find in the European theater. The World War II versions of these steel helmet straps are different than the European clones or the post-war examples. I will show down a picture somewhere over here, and that will show the difference between those and the post-war examples. You can also take a look at the shape of the helmet. The European clone has a different shape. It's a little bit longer in the end and a little bit shorter in the front. And as you can see with the American version, it's a little bit shorter on the end and a little bit longer in the front. The same as with this helmet, of course, and the same with the helmet on the left. So that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys learned something from it and that you won't make any mistakes in the near future. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you guys next time.